Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we'll be going from the 20th of April up until the 26th to see if there's anything that's worth your time and money. So what is coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. First up then, in what is quite a stacked week, is Tales of Kenzera, Zale. You play as Zale in the setting of Kenzera, a young shaman who bargains with a god in order to bring back someone he loves from the dead. It calls itself a poignant single-player story shaped by actor Abubakar Salim's own experience with grief. It's a 2.5D action game developed by Surgent Studios and published by the EA Originals label. I think EA published games such as It Takes Two and Unravel under this particular label. It's going to release on the 23rd of April and it will sell for £16.19 or your regional equivalent. We then have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Wrath of the Mutants. Now this is an arcade game from back in 2017, albeit this new console release adds 3 new stages and 6 additional bosses to that original game. You can play as any of the 4 turtles, and it's based on the 2012 iteration of these characters, which was a really good series actually. I very much enjoyed that one. Had, in my opinion at least, the best incarnation of Splinter in any of the source material I've ever seen or read. But I must admit, I didn't even know this game existed. Obviously arcades are not really a thing anymore, certainly not where I live, and if you ever do see an arcade machine, it's for a much older game than one released in 2017. You can play in local co-op with up to 4 players as you would expect, and I am looking forward to giving this one a try. Anything with the Turtles name on instantly grabs my attention. I'm a massive fan, and it's going to release on the 23rd for £24.99, albeit you can get 15% off of that price if you pre-order.
Where I want
Turtle power!
Baxter Stockman.
Next up then is Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Now I'm pretty sure this game started life as a Kickstarter and is a game that a lot of people are looking forward to. There was another release, Eiyuden Chronicle Rising I believe it was called, which I think might have been a stretch goal for that Kickstarter campaign, and this now of course is the main game people have been waiting for. It appears to tell an age-old tale of empires at war, and it definitely has that classic JRPG look to it. It's another game that releases on the 23rd, and this one will cost you £44.99 or again your regional equivalent.
This is your home base, known as the headquarters. As allies join you, additional facilities will become available. You'll be able to tend crops, open shops, and more. Each hero you...
Also this week then we have Insurmountable, which comes via Daedalic Entertainment, and this is an adventure roguelike with permadeath in which the player has to overcome huge mountains. It promises that due to the procedurally generated environments, no 2 climbs will ever be the same, and you'll need to make sure your climber stays alive by ensuring that their vital values don't get into the critical range. There are 1 of 3 characters to choose from with different skills and background stories, and it says as well as the mountains you'll be searching crates, caves and ancient ruins for equipment from past adventurers. As well as this, there'll be dangerous animals along the way, and there are 3 mountains to conquer as you go. This actually sounds quite interesting as long as the permadeath is handled well. That's the one sticking point for me in terms of what I've just read. It's going to release on the 24th and it will sell for £17.99. Next up we have another Crab's Treasure. This calls itself a Souls-like adventure set in a crumbling underwater world where your players Krill the hermit crab who's out on an epic treasure hunt. It says you'll need to wear the rubbish that you find around as shells to withstand attacks from enemies many times your size, but the presence of this rubbish has come with a mysterious infection known as the gunk, which could spell doom for the entire ocean, so says the blurb. It says you'll gain a variety of techniques, powerful attacks learnt from the denizens of the seas, and you'll be fighting your way through kelp forests, coral reefs, sand castle cities, and even the unfathomable darkness of the deep sea trenches. Sounds pretty crazy. I'm very intrigued to see how they tie that together. It's out on the 25th and it costs £26.99, but it's another game that does have a discount available, 10% this time, up until the 2nd of May. We also have Whisker Waters, which calls itself a light fantasy RPG with fishing. It goes on to say that it sets itself apart from other RPG games as it has a creative focus on fishing. Players will use a variety of fishing tools and techniques to explore the semi-open world, completing quests and catching a wide array of different fish. I do like fishing games, I must say. Not just the fishing parts that you find in farm life sims, for example. I do quite like dedicated fishing games, so I'll be interested to see just how much of a focus the fishing is here. Certainly makes it sound like it's a large part of it. This one is out on the 25th and it will sell for £24.99. Then we have SaGa Emerald Beyond. This is a standalone entry in the SaGa franchise, which brings together the best elements of the beloved series to offer each player their own unique gameplay experience according to the blurb. It says you'll be making use of glimmers and combos in battle, travelling to 17 unique worlds, and there are 6 leading characters that you'll play as you go through the game. It promises to have the greatest number of branching plots of any game in the SaGa series, and I have played a few of the SaGa games, I must say, albeit the ones I've played for the most part have been the older games in the series, not these more elaborate ones in recent years. This one is out on the 25th and it will sell for £39.99 or your regional equivalent, but there is a demo you can download and play if you want to try before you buy.
Worlds as they strive to achieve their goals. How the story unfolds is in your hands. The choices you make can unlock different paths, more than ever before seen in the SaGa franchise.
Megaton Musashi W Wired is the next game releasing next week, and we'll see you customising the parts and weapons of giant robots to take back the Earth from an alien invasion. It's an action RPG with hack and slash gameplay, where you'll be making your way through missions to obtain legendary items, eliminating enemies, and obtaining parts to upgrade your rogue robot. Now this is not a series I know anything about, but I will read what the blurb says, because this may be of some importance to some of you. It says the classic super robots, Mazinga Z, Getter Robo, Combat the V and Voltes V join Megaton Musashi in an epic collaboration. So there you go, hopefully that made sense to someone. This one's out on the 25th again, and it will sell for £39.99. We have a couple of games in the same series coming next. The first of those is Class of Heroes Anniversary Edition. Now again, this is not a series I know much about at all, so I've just had a look and it appears that this is a remake of the original game in this series that released for the PSP in Japan and North America, probably why I've not heard of it, back in 2008 and 2009 respectively. It calls itself a JRPG dungeon crawler, where you play as a first year student at Particus Academy, and you'll need to build up a cohort of students, educating them in the art of evasion and training them in the fundamentals of combat. This will then take you on those runs into the dungeons, I'm assuming, and it will cost you £16.99 or your regional equivalent. As well as that though, we have Class of Heroes 2G Remaster Edition, which again, if I'm correct in saying, was a port of Class of Heroes 2, which released in 2010 in Japan for the PS3. This port included more dungeons, skills and party members than the first sequel, and this of course is a remaster of that port. You pick a party of 6 students to storm into the labyrinths and can mix and match from 10 races and 18 different classes. There are 100 different labyrinth maps to go through and 250 potential enemies. This one also costs £16.99, but you can actually buy a bundle of both games together, which costs you £29.99, saving you a tiny bit of money if you do want both games. And finally for the week then we have Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Sweep the Board. Now this, I've heard of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, if I'm saying that right at least, and it's a manga I believe, but this is a board game, a digital board game iteration of that series. It says you'll need to roll the dice and aim to become the strongest Demon Slayer swordsman, with iconic locations from the anime, there we go, it's an anime as well, appearing as boards in this game. You'll advance on the game board by rolling the dice, with the board switching between day and night. During the day, preparation for the night with events and minigames, and at night you will search for demons to defeat. It says you can take control of the iconic characters from the series, and you'll fight the demons by waving the joycon. There we go, so a bit of a more casual game I guess, for a series that many people I'm sure really enjoy. That's out on the 26th, and it will cost you £49.99 or your original equivalent. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Do any of those games interest you? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below. Quite a stacked week it must be said. Naturally I'm looking forward to the Turtles game. It could be anything with the Turtles brand on and I'll certainly play it and try it out. But there are a few more in there that interest me. They're Insurmountable actually, almost a surprise of the week as far as I'm concerned. And don't forget, if you are looking to pick any of these games up at all, you can get your eShop credit, your eShop cards, over at our website switchup.gg, and doing so will get you 5% of your purchase price back in cashback that you can use against a future purchase. There are also links down there to some physical stores, Play Asia, Premium Edition games, Red Art Games, where you can get yourself your games that you want with a small discount using the code stated, and some of them do involve an affiliation, which does provide a kickback to the channel, which is much appreciated. A quick thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.